landing in Morocco as a solo traveler brings a rush of excitement and a fair bit of uncertainty. It's a country where centuries-old Medinas blend with the buzz of modern cities, where the call to prayer floats through narrow alleyways, and where the warmth of hospitality is as constant as the desert sun. But stepping into this vibrant culture as a solo traveler also raises a question. What is it really like to stay in hostels here, surrounded by strangers in a place so rich in history and mystery? Arriving in Marrakech, the first thing that hits you is the energy. The streets pulse with life. Market vendors calling out their goods, mopeds weaving through crowds, the scent of spices mingling with street food smoke. Stepping into your first hostel here feels like crossing a threshold between chaos and calm. Most hostels are tucked behind nondescript doors in the Medina, blending in with the old city walls. But once inside, the world changes. Cool tiled courtyards, quiet communal lounges, and rooftops offering views over the labyrinth of the city make you feel like you've discovered a secret oasis. Hostel life in Morocco, especially in cities like Marrakech or Fez, is a world of contrasts. You share a dorm room with people from every corner of the globe, backpackers swapping stories, digital nomads hunched over laptops, and solo wanderers chasing the same thrill of discovery. Conversations flow easily in this setting. It's the kind of place where you sit down for breakfast with strangers, and by lunch, you're planning a group trip to the Atlas Mountains. The openness of hostel culture seems amplified here, perhaps because Morocco itself is a crossroads of cultures. My first impressions: surprisingly comfortable. Moroccan hostels tend to mix traditional decor, mosaic tiles, carved woodwork, colorful textiles, with a laid-back vibe that instantly puts you at ease. Staff members often double as unofficial tour guides, eager to recommend hidden spots in the souks or help you navigate the maze-like streets. And there's something refreshing about waking up in a room full of travelers, all with their own stories, yet sharing the same curiosity about this fascinating country. One thing that stands out immediately is how communal life shapes your experience. In most Moroccan hostels, meals aren't just a necessity, they're social events. You might find yourself gathered around a big table, passing around bowls of couscous or sharing a tagine cooked by the hostel owner. Food becomes a language of connection, a way to break the ice when you're miles from home. And somehow, sitting on a rooftop under a Moroccan sunset, eating with people you met only hours before, feels completely natural. But it's not just about the people inside the hostel. Morocco's atmosphere seeps in, even when you're sipping mint tea in a quiet corner of the courtyard. The sounds of the city, calls from the minaret, street vendors haggling, the occasional burst of music, filter through, reminding you that you're in a place where tradition and modern life blend seamlessly. It's an experience that's hard to replicate elsewhere. Let me ask, when was the last time a place made you feel both completely out of your element and right at home at the same time? Because that's the vibe Morocco seems to master effortlessly. Of course, hostel living comes with its quirks. Shared dorms mean shared routines. Early risers rummaging through backpacks at dawn, late night whispers from new friends bonding over their travels, and yes, the occasional snorer. But in Morocco, even the small annoyances seem softened by the setting. Maybe it's the calming architecture, maybe it's the open-hearted travelers you meet. But you find yourself more patient, more present. One of my first hostel experiences took me to Chefchaouen, the famous blue city nestled in the Rif Mountains. Staying in a small hostel perched on the hillside, the view each morning was worth every step up the steep streets. The hostel itself felt like a home, a cozy, colorful space where travelers swapped tips over breakfast before heading out to explore the maze of blue-washed alleys. And here's the funny thing. The best conversations didn't happen on planned tours or big excursions. They happened right there in the hostel lounge, over mint tea or shared slices of fresh bread with olive oil. Solo hostel living also comes with unexpected lessons in trust and spontaneity. In Fez, I ended up sharing a room with two travelers from Germany and Brazil. Within an hour, we were walking together through the ancient Medina, getting completely lost, and loving every second of it. Wandering through the narrow streets, guided more by instinct than maps, we stumbled into tiny artisan shops, tasted sweets from street vendors, and marveled at the intricate tilework of ancient madrasas. That's the beauty of hostel life here. It doesn't just connect you with a place, it connects you with people who change how you experience that place. And then there's Essaouira, a coastal gem where hostel living feels almost like a summer camp for adults. Surfers, artists, and wanderers gather in laid-back hostels just steps from the sea. The vibe is different here, more relaxed, less rushed. Rooftop jam sessions, communal dinners of grilled fish, and spontaneous trips to the beach happen daily. It's a place where hostel living blends seamlessly with the town's easygoing spirit, making it almost impossible to leave. Now, Morocco isn't without its challenges for solo travelers. Navigating the bustling souks can be overwhelming, and the cultural differences require respect and awareness. But here's where hostel living becomes a secret weapon. The advice, warnings, and tips from fellow travelers, and often from the hostel staff themselves, help you avoid common pitfalls. From learning how to bargain like a local to understanding cultural etiquette, hostels become more than just a place to sleep. They become your support network. Have you ever noticed how being part of a community, even a temporary one, can change your entire experience of a place? In Morocco, that community often starts in a hostel common room. My time in Morocco's hostels taught me that solo travel doesn't mean traveling alone. Whether it was sharing a cramped dorm with strangers who became friends, navigating new cities with fellow adventurers, or simply swapping stories late into the night, hostel living turned solo travel into a shared journey. And beyond the friendships, hostel living offered a rare chance to see Morocco through countless perspectives. Hearing stories from travelers who had just come from the Sahara, or who had spent weeks volunteering in rural villages, opened my eyes to facets of the country I might never have discovered on my own. Every conversation added a new layer to my understanding of Morocco, a mosaic of experiences that no guidebook could replicate. Here's something to think about. What would happen if we all approached new places with that same openness, that same willingness to connect with strangers? Would the world feel a little smaller, a little kinder? As my journey through Morocco unfolded, each hostel stay brought something new. In Tangier, overlooking the Straits of Gibraltar, a rooftop gathering turned into a night of music with travelers from 4 continents. In Meknes, a spontaneous cooking lesson from a hostel owner taught me how to make harira soup, and earned me a lifelong friendship. And in the desert town of Merzouga, hostel mates turned travel companions as we rode camels into the dunes for a night under the stars. These first impressions of hostel living in Morocco painted a picture far richer than I ever expected. It wasn't just about cheap beds or convenient locations. It was about stepping into a global village tucked inside Moroccan walls, where stories, cultures, and lives intertwined for fleeting yet unforgettable moments. As my time in Morocco's hostels drew to a close, one thought stayed with me. This is what travel is really about. Not just the places you see, but the connections you make, the stories you share, and the ways a single conversation in a hostel common room can change your entire perspective. If this glimpse into solo hostel living in Morocco sparked something in you, stick around for our next video where we dive into the hidden gems of Morocco's Medinas. Places you won't find on tourist maps, but that will leave you with stories you'll never forget.